So we've had a few questions concerning our Level 3A soft armor. We thought we'd try and answer one of those questions today. So our Level 3A soft armor, as well as our backpack armor, are made from a hybrid Kevlar material. So we use multiple Kevlar materials in these panels. And the reason we do that is really just to maximize the stopping capabilities while keeping them thin, lightweight, as well as affordable. So Kevlar is very commonly used for soft armor. Now, the reason for that, it's got a lot of advantages as well as other materials similar to Kevlar. The material's lightweight, it's thin, it's flexible, so it's comfortable. The major disadvantage with Kevlar is that it only reaches Level 3A standards. So you can stop your handgun rounds, but you're not going to stop rifle rounds with 3A armor. That naturally leads into the question, how many panels or layers of 3A armor would it take to stop a rifle round? So rather than shoot up a bunch of our 3A soft armors, what we've done is we've just made some smaller test panels of the same materials, the same Kevlar material, to shoot and see how many layers it's going to take to stop a 5.56. Now these are made from the leftover material used making our 3A soft armor. So the Kevlar we're going to use today, 9 layers of this Kevlar is rated for Level 3A. So 9 layers of this is going to stop your 9mm, your 44 mag, your handgun rounds. We sewed these test things up in layers of 10. So that gives you an idea, it's about a 1/4 inch thick on that material. So this 1/4 inch thick, 9 layers, is rated to stop a 9mm. We're gonna compare that and see how many layers that same Kevlar material is used to stop a 5.56. So first we're gonna shoot the panel with 10 layers of Kevlar in it, just to show that it does stop and meet the requirements for Level 3A. So this is Glock 19, 9mm, 115 grain. I'm standing about 5 yards away. Mostly that's just because it's a small target. I ain't no Eli, I want to make sure I actually hit the thing. So we'll test this one first and then check it out. So you can see here, that panel did stop that round. Now you can see this, the back face deformation. Take my headphones off so I don't scream at you. But you can see the round in there. So I can quickly cut that open if you want. We can see that slug in there. To show you that did stop that. Slug is right there. Keep in there, but it takes the extra layers back there to help stop that round. So that's 10 layers. You can see it stopped that 9mm. So now we'll jump up. We'll shoot 40 layers with the 5.56 and see if it's able to stop it or not. So next we have 40 layers of that same Kevlar. So that 10 layers is about a 1/4 inch thick. This one's an inch thick. So we'll go stick that up in the box and we'll shoot it with the 5.56. We'll shoot about 15 yards away with just your M193 round. So we'll test that now. So we got our 40 layers of Kevlar in the box. We're gonna shoot it with a 5.56 16-inch barrel, just a M193 round, and see if it penetrates it. So we can see on that, we had a clean pass through. That round went right through there. We can cut this open quick and see, but I mean, you can tell by the Kevlar that's blown clean through. So we'll just jump up to 50 layers of Kevlar and see if that stops it. So next we have 50 layers. So this is 50 layers of that same Kevlar material. Now this is about a 1.25 inches thick, so getting pretty thick here. Quite a few layers, so we're gonna slap that in the box, shoot it with the same 5.56 16-inch barrel with an M193 round and see how it does. So we shot the 50 layers. I don't know if you can see up on the hillside, there's some of this material up there. I'm not quite sure how it got out. It must have, there's a tear here in the back. It must have just balled that up and ripped it right out. So I'm gonna go check and see if the slug is in there to see if it stopped it or not. This was our 50 layers of the Kevlar material. As you can see, it actually, there's a tear here in the back. When that round hit, that impact blew this out of there. So we did these in, we sewed these up in layers of 10 at a time. So this is a layer of 10 of the 50 that just completely blew out of this material. So that's the impact that hit that. But the slug is in that panel. So it did stop in 50 rounds. So I'll cut this apart. We'll see exactly how many layers it penetrated through and to get a good idea of where we're at. Looks like it slightly penetrated. So it looks like 45 layers stopped it here. So we're 5 layers in, and you can see the slug just starting to kind of peek through there. So 45 layers of this Kevlar stopped the 5.56. Obviously, there's some serious back face deformation that occurred on this, but that gives you an idea. So 45 layers stopped the round. Now, just remember, 9 layers of this stuff stops a 9mm. So really, in short, why don't you see armor, level 3 armor, rifle rated armor made from Kevlar? It's just not practical. I mean, this is 1.25 inches thick, so the armor would be thick. It really loses its, I mean, when you get this many layers, you lose your flexibility, one of the benefits. As well as you can see here, so with the Kevlar materials, they're sewn together in order to keep their integrity. Now, these were only sewn together in 10s. You can see what happened when that pressure hit. So you'd have to sew all layers together at the same time, really, to get the best use out of this Kevlar. A lot of impractical things there, as well as it would be super expensive. So this was very expensive armor to make. And then this isn't even it. So 45 layers stopped that 5.56, but that doesn't mean it would meet the requirements for level 3A. So the other piece of here is the back face deformation. We mentioned it before. In order for armor to meet level 3A standards, you only have so much back face deformation. Now it's tested against a clay box, it's shot, they measure the depth in indentation in the clay. Now 45 layers stop this, but there's no way it would meet those standards. You're gonna have way too much indentation, which means you're gonna have to either stack more Kevlar, trauma pads, or similar materials on this to try and get it to meet those standards. So you're gonna be even more than this. So really, that's kind of breaks it down for you. It's just not practical for rifle rated armor to be made out of Kevlar. Great for soft armor, 3A, awesome option. It's just not meant for rifles. Anyway, we're talking about the practicalities or impracticalities of Kevlar armor as level 3. Maybe one of these days we'll take one of these to the range and we'll shoot it up against our clay box and actually see that back face deformation. But thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any other questions or want to see other videos, shoot us a message and let us know.